So the ICJ has ruled on the situation in Gaza. Israel just completely destroying the place. From what I read, they haven't firmly called it a genocide yet. Like they haven't said this is a genocide. I think they're implying it. I don't know. This whole situation has been really sticky, but this is what the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, rules that Israel must halt all of its that Israel must halt attacks on Palestinians, uh, halt incitement against Palestinians as a group, ensure humanitarian aid, preserve evidence, and submit response to the court within a month. The fallout from this hasn't been going great. Israel isn't taking any of this. They're still continuing their attacks. We have this tweet from Hassan. He was talking about the whole situation that despite the ICJ decision today, it seems to me that the U.S. State Department is continuing with its support for Israel's genocide campaign, which is true because we have this tweet right here. The State Department has put a temporary hold on funding the UNRWA, the main UN agency in Gaza, following allegations that UNRWA employees were involved in Hamas October 7th attacks in Israel, which is something that people have been trying to say during this whole situation. I believe Israel is trying to imply that members of the UNRWA have been, or at least helped out with the attacks. And if you're not sure what the UNRWA is, they are the United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestinian refugees. They're there to support them, for the people who have been affected by this, for the people who are trying to, find any sort of refuge from this whole situation. And now the State Department is cutting funding for that agency. So it's just going to get harder for the refugees there. And this is just, again, the U.S., the State Department is just not following the ICJ ruling at all. They're really helping out Israel. They're really helping out Israel continue these attacks, and more than likely, there's not going to be any consequences from this, unfortunately. For the most part, this was um, basically all the judges agreed against Israel in this regard. Basically, yeah, you're basically committing a genocide. That's disgusting. Except for one judge who voted in favor of Israel, a Ugandan judge who is now being disowned by her own country. And this isn't even like Israel is going to continue this. Also, with the whole UNRWA, they there's been a bunch of workers who've been killed in Gaza who have worked under the UNRWA. I'll just read out this tweet. Israel kills 152 UNRWA workers in Gaza, the highest death toll among UN staffers. Even the US and UK don't even blink. The ICJ accused Israel of committing potential genocide in Gaza. Again, this is actually the phrasing they were using. It's not just this user. They were like, oh, it's potentially a genocide. No, it is. Definitely is. The US and UK respond by cutting funding to the UNRWA organization, which saves lives in Gaza. Despite the fact that the ICJ ruled in favor for basically the Palestinians in this case, they're still continuing it. This is so disgusting. Even Holocaust survivors are literally trying to say they're going out there, they're going out to the media and being like, what Israel is doing isn't right. This is just another Holocaust. This is a genocide. I forget what was the full context of this, but just listen to this.
And I would like to use the rest of my time to say how appalled I am that people are bringing up the Holocaust. Do not use other genocides to describe this one. I have been...
I like how you can just tell just that little, little thing at the end where she actually understands this right here. She fully understands what she just said there, and this is just you can look at the comments. It's just a Freudian slip. You just instinctively said this because it's true. I saw in Auschwitz that if a dominant group wants to dehumanize others, as the Nazis dehumanized me, the dominant group must first dehumanize themselves. The same holds nowadays for Israel. I am appalled about how hateful, how dehumanized They do not see any human aspect in any Palestinian anymore. The Zionists have no right whatsoever to use the Holocaust for any purpose. They have given up everything which has to do with humanity and with empathy. Like, these guys lived through it. They understand what it is to be on the other side of this. And they see that with Palestinians today. But then you'll see, people in Israel trying to justify this by using the Holocaust. But despite as a way of oh, we don't want another Holocaust, so we're going to do this to them. We're going to commit a Holocaust on them. It's fucking disgusting. They're also blowing each other up. We'll watch a little bit of this, but apparently they accidentally blew themselves up. Some IDF soldiers accidentally blew themselves up in a way.
All right, let's get to the IDF explosion.
News overnight in the Israel-Hamas war. At least 21 Israeli soldiers were killed in Gaza. Matt Gutman is in Tel Aviv with the latest developments. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mary. This was the deadliest attack on Israeli troops.
I thought it was 24. The number increased to 24, no? 24 soldiers killed on deadliest day for Israeli forces in Gaza combat. UK not seeking confrontation with the Houthis, says Sunak. Nice.
Yeah, the Israeli military said that a unit of Israeli reserves was trying to demolish a pair of two-story buildings in Gaza when Palestinian militants nearby fired an RPG that hit a tank. That blast apparently triggered a chain reaction that detonated the mines the soldiers were going to use in the buildings, causing a
What a crazy way to explain the story, by the way. Why were there so many mines? Why is there a controlled demolition happening?
World Bank report finds 45% of residential buildings in Gaza ruined beyond repair. They probably wouldn't have. There's probably wouldn't have been so many soldiers that died if it wasn't for the fact that they are just so adamant on blowing up the remaining buildings that are there in Gaza, just destroying people's property. After they're done completely looting it, which does get discussed later on. I'm gonna see if I can just kind of skip to it. I mean, this is an example of them looting, but still, it's just them using this travesty to be like, oh, how we bombed them. We bombed them.
Dude, that's crazy.
They don't have their doors not on their building anymore. Yeah, just stealing people's shit, stealing their food, making their own.
Soldiers were filmed setting fire to scarce water and food supplies as a flex. Others were seen rummaging through private homes and filming boxes of lingerie. Hold on, there's more. Let me show you more innocence.
Jesus Christ.
This soldier appears to be smashing a children's toy after entering a shop. I mean, it's a snow globe. What tactical utility is he presenting in this TikTok? What reason does the IDF have? Here are the soldiers.
These soldiers sang a song including the words, "We know our slogan, there are no people who are uninvolved."
Soldiers singing a song, which, by the way, ironically, this was included in the South African ICJ case.
The Israel army has pledged to take disciplinary action in what it says are a handful of isolated cases. Yeah, just a handful. It's not like there's a bunch of evidence out there. There's a bunch of evidence out there for, showing how these soldiers have been absolutely disgusting during this entire thing. Just, God. It is so obvious how fucking disgusting this is. But the fact that, nothing is really getting done, nothing is truly getting done in this process is absolutely gross and disgusting. Even with the ICJ ruling, we're not really seeing anything being stopped or halted. And in fact, It's probably because of the, power of the U.S., the power that's backing up Israel. It's just, like, I don't know. But we'll see. It's just, again, worse shit happening over and over and over again. I'm still always, in a, campaign for a peaceful resolution to this. Just Israel stopping as a whole. But I don't really have any idea how that happens.